Hi there, everyone. It's Andrew Fazekas, your host for the night sky this week for July 29th, 2024. Welcome. So nice of you to join me. Make sure you put in the chat where you're watching from. I'd love to see where all my stargazing friends around the world are located. Hey, if you find value in this video, please make sure you do that good stuff on social by subscribing to my channel, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, wherever you are. Please do subscribe. It means a lot to me and allows me to bring these videos straight to you every week. So, did you do some stargazing this weekend? I know I had some hazy but clear skies. It's muggy here in Montreal, Canada. It's sunny, very, very hot, but a lot of humidity in the air. And so you can still see stuff in the sky, but it's a little bit murky. It's not the most steady seeing, especially through telescopes or binoculars. It makes quite a difference for me. I see Neil joining us here from Ottawa, saying it's too cloudy where you are. You're actually not too far from me, are you, Neil? From in Ottawa, about a 2-hour drive from where I am in Montreal. But hey, why don't we dive in right into it? I gotta talk about first the auroras, northern lights. There is an alert on for coronal mass ejections that were thrown off of the sun. This is what really creates the conditions for possible northern lights for us here. And this week, the sun has been very active. Let me just go to my favorite website, spaceweather.com, and you can check this out yourself. But this is the front page right now. They're talking about a cannibal coronal mass ejection alert. You can see that right here. And it's a series of M-class flares, which means that they're medium class. They're not the strongest, but they're not the weakest either. So they're pretty significant flares coming off the sun. This happened over the weekend, and it's hurled multiple coronal mass ejections towards Earth. And so according to NOAA modeling, these are the computer models scientists are using, the first two of these charged particle clouds merged to form a cannibal coronal mass ejection. So that means that two of these clouds were traveling, one faster than the other one. So the one behind it caught up with the slower moving one ahead of it, and the two clouds merged. And this bodes well for stronger geomagnetic storms here. We're actually expecting strong G3 class. So this is a strong medium level class geomagnetic storm to reach us on July 30th. So this is for Tuesday. So it should reach us tomorrow as of this recording of this live stream. So Tuesday, July 30th, it should arrive, creating these geomagnetic storms. And if this is true, then we may be in for some possibilities of auroras. So it says here it should arrive no later than July 31st by Wednesday. So sometime between Tuesday and Wednesday. And if that is correct, auroras could be visible at mid-northern latitudes across Europe and USA, and of course Canada as well. So July 30th. So I would stay tuned. So Tuesday evening and Wednesday I would be out looking for possible auroras. Keep an eye out at spaceweather.com. Also on my posts as well. I'll be keeping an eye on this for you too. So if there's anything that pops up, this could potentially mean really good auroras. Maybe not as much as what we had, the show that we had in May. I wouldn't think that, but you never know. So this is interesting. So let's keep an eye on that. Why don't we jump into the planetarium program right away? I see Lindsay from Cork, Ireland. Nice of you to join me. So nice on YouTube. So this is the sky. Most of us will be able to see this week, right after sunset, looking towards the southwest. So about a half hour after your local sunset or close to it, let me just move this a little bit forward in a few minutes. Venus is going to be pinning down the very low southwest sky. This could be a challenge because it's so close to the sun, right? So maybe binoculars might be really good to use to spot Venus, and a very clear view to the low southwestern horizon is what we're talking about here to catch sight of Venus. So binoculars will probably help. And if you have this little bit of window of time. Now, Venus is going to be rising a little bit higher over the course of the next few weeks, making it an easier target. Now, what may be also a challenging observing challenge, but something cool, is to check out little Mercury. Mercury is climbing higher in the next few days as well, and next to it is Regulus. So this is a great binocular level challenge, not really for naked eye, but if you have binoculars and telescopes, this is something you could check out as little Mercury, the innermost planet, and next to it is Regulus, the lead star in the constellation Leo the Lion. So that will be pinning down the southwestern sky right after sunset. Then you've got the brightest star of Spica in the constellation Virgo, a very distinct bluish star in the southwest. If we kind of go a little bit later, let's go an hour later into the night where the stars do come out. So this is about an hour and a half after your local sunset. This is the sky that'll greet you. You'll see a very distinct bluish star pinning down the low southwestern sky. High above there is Arcturus. Now, before I move on, one of the things that, of course, a lot of people have been talking about is this supposed nova explosion that will be happening sometime over the course of the next 2 to 3 months. Now, this is what we call a recurrent nova. There is about 10 of these type of explosive stars in the Milky Way galaxy that we know of. This is the brightest of the lot, and it happens once in about a lifetime. Once every 80 years or so, this star, there's an explosion on its surface, basically a thermonuclear blast. And this is what produces this bright explosion that is visible to us. And it will be visible to the naked eye, and it'll basically be a star about the same brightness as Polaris, the North Star. So just to give you an indication, that is what you're kind of looking for, is something that looks like the North Star right here. This is the North Star pitting, of course, the north. So if you become familiar with the sky a little bit and you want to know what you're going to be looking for when this nova, it's called T Corona Borealis, or the Blaze star. It'll be about as bright as Polaris's North Star. And so if you want to know where the North Star is, of course, look for the Big Dipper in the northwestern sky. Use the 2 N stars of the Big Dipper, and it'll point to the next brightest star is Polaris right there. So that's the North Star. And that'll be kind of your guidepost and expect what you can expect in terms of brightness. Now, where is this nova going to happen? Well, again, this is something that you can use the Big Dipper to help find this location. So use the handle of the Big Dipper, the natural arc of the Big Dipper, to point down to Arcturus, a very bright orange star, which is the lead star in the constellation Boötis right there. And then what you're going to be looking for is another bright star high up in the sky, almost overhead in mid-evening, and that's Vega. See that right there? So you have these 2 bright stars, the Vega, which is almost near overhead. You see it says zenith here? It's almost overhead for mid-northern latitudes. It may be not quite overhead for where you are if you're closer to the equator, but still Vega is going to be very, very bright white star. It's the brightest star in the evening sky looking up. And so you want to draw an imaginary line between Arcturus, this orange star, right, that the handle of the Big Dipper has pointed to, and Vega. Draw an imaginary line, and kind of halfway between, a little bit, I guess maybe a little bit closer to Arcturus, is this constellation called Corona Borealis. You see that? It is in the shape of a U. It represents what Corona Borealis, Latin meaning northern crown. It's a medium faint naked eye constellation. Even in suburbs with light pollution, you should be able to see this constellation of Corona Borealis. You can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stars that make up this constellation, that makes up this mythological crown. So you're looking for this. And again, where is this? It's between Arcturus and Vega. So I want you to practice finding this, because any moment this star will explode. We don't know. It could happen sometime tonight, or it could happen all the way in September. That is according to astronomers who are following the light curve of this very faint star. And this star again called the Blaze Star, and I'll show you where it is. So we're gonna set this into the wide angle shot. We're gonna do a search. I'm using Sky Safari Pro, my favorite planetarium program. There's the Blaze Star. It's usually 10.1 magnitude. So that means that this is a star that is visible really only through very strong binoculars, but more with telescopes. So I'm going to just center it, and you can see where it is. I'm going to put sky charts for this, so don't worry. If you're not taking notes, don't worry. I'm going to put sky charts so you'll be able to find it. But the Blaze Star is located here. You can see the constellation of stars. These are all naked eye stars, faint, but still visible. Alphecca is the brightest. That'll be very easy to see even in suburban skies. And then make out this general constellation of 7 stars in the shape of a U. And the Blaze Star is located just off the side of this second star in the crown. Now, you won't see anything there unless the star has exploded and it becomes very bright. Now, when that happens, we don't know when it's going to happen. Sometime over the next few months, it will happen. The Blaze Star will explode for the first time since 1946 was the last time it exploded. So almost 80 years. And what it is, it's really cool. It's actually 2 stars orbiting each other. A smaller star, it's called a white dwarf, is actually orbiting a red giant star. The white dwarf is basically the dead core of a large sun-like star, and that's all that remains. And it has very high gravity, high mass, and it's about the size of Earth. The white dwarf is, and it's suctioning off the gas in the outer atmosphere of the larger companion star. And so what happens is it goes into orbit around it, and the gas accumulates on the surface of the white dwarf until it explodes. Now, I've actually put a nice article on my website. Let me show you here. That will explain all of this to you. And I have got some guide photos there for you, some planetarium shots there that I'm showing you, where you can see it, where the Blaze Star is, and this is what's happening. So you see, this is an artist's conception of what is actually happening. So what's really cool is that you've got this circular material around the red giant star, all of this stuff, and then it has this little white dwarf that's orbiting it right there, and it's suctioning off gas until it explodes. And it takes about 80 years of accumulation of this gas for it to basically ignite in a thermonuclear blast. So you're literally looking for an atomic bomb explosion that's happening on a star, get this, 3,000 light years away. That's where all this action has happened. That means it's happened 3,000 years ago. That's how far away this star is, the Blaze Star. So let me just put this into, I will put this into the chat after the show, and you'll be able to go on this my website. So it's my most recent blog that I have there. It's something really cool. I want you to guys try to find it. It's literally a once in a lifetime opportunity to see if you can find this star explode in your local sky. How cool is that? So that's the Blaze Star. It's going to happen at some time. We'll talk more about it in the coming weeks and months, and and I'll definitely be keeping you guys tuned into this. So that's something cool. Go out and look for the Blaze Star. Now, what else is there in the sky? So we can go back and see the Milky Way is there as well in the evening skies. Really, really beautiful. The Milky Way, you don't want to miss that. Let me see if I can get this. There we go. Zoom in a little bit. All right, and can zoom in that way, and we can see that the Milky Way stretches across the southern horizon. So check out the Milky Way, showing you where the southern horizon is, the beautiful Antares bright orange star. You don't want to miss that. Of course, the summer triangle is up there as well, with the Milky Way racing right across it. So that Milky Band stretching right across the summer triangle. This is the summer triangle, 3 bright stars. Again, Vega, remember we were talking about Vega. Vega's there, Deneb's there, and Altair is there. So that'll be really nice. I see Lindsay has a question. How long will the light of the explosion of the blaze star be visible? We think maybe it could be as short as 4 or 5 hours, could be as long as 2, 3, 4 days, where it's at visible to the naked eye. After that, it'll start fading, become visible through binoculars for a couple of weeks maybe, and then it'll be faint again that you need a telescope, backyard telescope, to find the blaze star. So really exciting, once in a lifetime to see a stellar explosion. It really is one of the rarest of celestial events that people can see. So check that out. Again, I'll put a link after the show. So there is the Milky Way, and there is the summer triangle. This is visible very high up in the sky. You may be facing east, southeast to see the summer triangle and the Milky Way. And remember, the center of the Milky Way, we talked about this in the last show, is towards the southern horizon. That is 28,000 light years away, the central core of our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Now, if we move if we move all of this into the later part of the night, into the overnight period, you'll see around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, the moon is going to be clustered in a beautiful setting of Taurus the Bull constellation. So if you are an early bird, this is what will greet you in the early morning, say at dawn or before dawn. You'll see a crescent moon. So this is Tuesday, July 30th. So July 30th, Tuesday, the crescent moon will be embedded inside the Taurus, the Bull constellation, and nearby will be the planets Jupiter and Uranus on the other side. Really absolutely beautiful. And also Mars will be tucked in just underneath the crescent moon. So how cool is that? So that's Tuesday, July 30th. You have this beautiful clustering of planets, moon, and bright stars like Aldebaran right there, the red eye of the bull. Also, the Hyades cluster is going to be there, this V-shaped clustering of stars. If you have binoculars, you'll easily see that as well. This is really, I would say, an absolutely beautiful sight for those of you that can get up early in the morning. So that's Tuesday morning. But if we switch to what happens with the moon, let's see what happens with the moon on Wednesday. The moon will be at one of the tips of the horn, one of the horns of Taurus the Bull. By Thursday, the moon is moving off. In July 2nd, we're already Friday, July 2nd, the crescent moon, will be pairing with Castor and Pollux, the Gemini twins. A really nice, eye-catching sight with the moon, Castor, and Pollux together. What else is happening? Well, also, there is a meteor shower called the Southern Aquarids. This is the Southern Aquarids. Expect anywhere from 10 to 25 shooting stars in the overnight period. You can look in any direction of the sky. It's a great I would say a pre-show to the main act, which is the Perseid meteor shower peaking on August 12th and 13th. But this one at the end of July, the last few days of July, is when we have the Delta Aquarids, Southern Aquarids peaking. And it's like 10 to 25 shooting stars in the overnight period. I'll be putting a sky chart for that as well in the coming days, so you don't want to miss out on that. Hey, if you found value in this, please do share and subscribe to my channel. You also may want to check out my book, Backyard Guide to Night Sky. I just got this restocked, and I'm shipping them internationally, signed, personally dedicated editions. So if you're interested in having one of those, also have in stock my Stargazers Atlas, signing, dedicating personalized copies, sending them out internationally. They're on my website, thenightskyguide.com. And also, don't forget, sign up to my Stargazing newsletter. Free newsletter coming out every month. Next edition should be coming out next few days. Packed with all the things so you don't miss a thing every week. How cool is that? So with that, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great week, and I hope you stay safe and healthy. And until the next video, clear skies. Bye-bye.